welcome back to another episode of Canto Be Like, a Cantonese and English bilingual podcast helping you to learn Cantonese and Hong Kong culture. I'm your host, Venus, and this is the beginning of September, meaning it's going to be another episode on things to do in Hong Kong in the coming month. So in this month in Hong Kong, I try to recommend something seasonal, but I do want to recommend something that I'm actually going to do, because in the July edition I recommended so many things which I didn't end up going at all, and I feel a bit like a fraud just to say, oh, this sounds interesting and that sounds amazing and maybe you can try it, but I didn't go myself. So in August edition, I changed it up a little bit. I didn't really look for something that's very specific to the month, but instead what I did, and I'm quite sure, like, I got a pencil down in my calendar the things that I'm going to do in the month. So I think that's more honest, and I can give authentic and personal review and recommendations. So we're gonna continue like that. In the last episode, we mostly focus on the restaurants and tiny day outs I actually did. Mostly I did with my friends and family, such as Kennedy Town with my mom. We went to a French restaurant called Comptoir. We had beef tartare and she had gazpacho, which is weird because we were in a French restaurant and gazpacho is Spanish. But anyway, it was good. So I totally recommend it. And the street was like the epitome of, we called it 华人杂区, as in like a mix of Chinese and Western influence, and Kennedy Town really encapsulate that essence of East and West. And we also went on a little walk on the promenade. So we arrived at the Kennedy Town public swimming pool, and opposite the pool there is a cafe called Tiju, which was a hangout spot for HKU students, I think, because I saw a bunch of medics discussing anatomy, which is like quite an interesting thing for a Saturday morning. So Kennedy Town was 10 out of 10, totally recommended. Like, go for the vibes. It's so chill, like you don't even think you're on the island because it's just so quiet and so, yeah, it's just nice. And I went to so I was going to go to the Hideout Cafe with all of my best friends, and like one of them came back from Taiwan, which like was like such a nice thing to see her after like a year, because me and the other friend went to visit her in Taiwan in April last year. And she came back. We were going to go to Muiwo, the Hideout Cafe, to do a day of experience, because they have like coffee bean picking from the farm, and then it's like from farm to table kind of experience, which is like very nice. And they have art jamming and like just creative and being close to nature kind of stuff. But it was unfortunately amber rain on the day. Amber or red rain, I don't know what it's actually called, but so basically we couldn't go. The ferries wouldn't go to Muiwo, so we didn't go. We went to Admiralty instead. So we were at Pacific Place, and there was this little cafe called Little Cove, which I think did amazing matcha latte, and the food was, for the price point, very competitive. So totally recommend it, especially at Admiralty where everything is just expensive. And then for dinner, because we couldn't get enough of each other, so after lunch we talked for a little bit, and then we decided we would head to dinner to continue the talk. And we went to Artemis and Apollo. So it's a Greek restaurant, I would say. And the food was very, I would say, quite authentic to Greek, and I think the chef is Lebanese, but she does an amazing job to do a representation of authentic Greek cuisine, at least to my opinion. Artemis and Apollo is under the Black Sheep franchise, I think, and they have so many restaurants and they do deals in September on Monday and Tuesday. They have other offerings and you can check it out. I will link the website there, but I'm not sponsored. I just know this and I think it's a cool thing, so I wanted to share it with you guys. But yeah, that's what I talked about, what I covered in August. So head back is not seasonal, so head back to the August episode for more details, but that was a little recap of what was covered. And yeah, without further ado, I know that was a very long intro, but without further ado, let's dive into my September recommendations. So August and September, it's summer, and I have a lot of friends coming back from the UK or other places from the world for summer. A little bit of a little bit of context. I did a STEM degree, and a lot of my friends, they are actually doing PhD right now, so that's why a lot of them are still eligible for summer holiday, which I'm very jealous of. But anyway, I am very happy that they're coming back and I'm seeing them. So September, I actually have a lot going on. I am trying to reconnect with some old friends, which I realized they actually moved to Hong Kong. So that was a pleasant surprise, and I'm seeing her. Also, 3 other friends are visiting from the UK, so gonna do some special things with them and maybe try some new restaurants and stuff. Those are still not decided yet. It's still up in the air, so I will update you guys in next month, so stay tuned. But these are the things I am definitely gonna do this month. So actually in my calendar, and I've purchased tickets to go. So the first thing first, which I'm super excited about, is the European Literature Night. A bit of background, it's not a thing specific to Hong Kong, so this is the second year of this happening in Hong Kong, but this thing has been taking place in Prague since 2006. So I think it started in Czech Republic, and I know they have something similar in New York. I'm not sure about other cities, but it's quite a thing. Like, the European National Institutes for Culture is behind this, and I think some European consulates in Hong Kong are also the organizing party of this event. So it's quite a big cultural exchange, and it's happening on 17th of September. I don't think you need to pay to go. So there are 13 menus in Sheung Wan and Central that are hosting reading of excerpts of works by European writers, and you can plan your route and see which titles, which excerpts of works interest you, and you can pick and choose and go. So each reading lasts for 30 minutes. So all these venues are going to repeat the same session, I think, same 30 minutes interval for the night. So you can pick whenever you want to go and plan your route, which is so exciting. Like, it's like a little Easter hunt, but literary, you know? And I'm very big in literature and art, which maybe by this point you might know, or maybe you have an inkling about it. I don't know, maybe I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm quite a literary person. Anyway, a bit of a digression. So I am going to share with you some of my picks, and the first one I picked is Germany, because I speak German, not fluently, but I do understand enough to read some basic, very like young adult books. Like, I'm able to do that with some help. And yeah, so definitely going to check out the Germany one, because I'm very interested in the culture and I'm learning the language. So Germany, they are showing Glorious People by Sasha Salman. And for what it's about, I'm just going to share one line of synopsis because the point of this episode is not to talk about books as much as I want to. But yeah, just one line because otherwise I will waffle so much. So the Financial Times says the book is an astute, deeply empathic portrayal of the dislocation of first-generation immigrant and intergenerational trauma. I'm so interested, and I will see you there. And the next one I will definitely go is Italy. My reason of going is because I have a connection with the venue, so I actually know I don't know them very personally, but I've met people who actually run the venue, and I'm a member of the venue. So I mean, it got me into some work of literature big in Italy. So I think I'm just going to support. And the title sounds really interesting as well. It's Perfection by Vincenzo Latronico. And wow, it was shortlisted for the International Booker Prize. So definitely very big in the literary scene. And The Guardian, one-line synopsis says, is about an expat couple carefully curate their lives through plants and Radiohead LPs in this deliciously pessimistic chronicle of gentrifying Berlin. Wow, it's about Berlin. Oh, that's interesting. Definitely going to check out this reading to support the venue, which is La Biblioteca Italian Library Hong Kong in PMQ. And I highly recommend it. Like, they're so nice, and it's just a welcoming atmosphere to encourage people to learn Italian and get into Italian literature. So definitely going to support that. And the final one I'm going to go to is Finland. So the title is Fishing for the Little Pike by Juhani Karila. So it's about a young woman's annual pilgrimage to a home in Lapland to catch an elusive pike in 3 days. It's complicated by a host of mythical creatures. First of all, it's in Lapland. I spent my 18th birthday there with my parents, and I don't know, it just has a special place in my heart, and I want to go there. And the fact that it's fishing for the little pike it reminds me of The Old Man and the Sea, which is a book that has given me immense strength to deal with the challenges in life. So I have a feeling it might be something like that, but for a young woman. So I don't exactly know what it's about. I'm very curious, but it sounds very interesting, and book cover was like so nice and so, I don't know, Scandinavian or like Nordic, or it's just my aesthetic. So I'm totally going and checking it out. So yeah, if you are going, maybe we'll bump into each other. I don't know. So these are my choices, and on top of that, there are Goethe in Czechia, Sad Tiger in France, The End in Hungary, Dubliner, so this is a very classic one, right? By James Joyce in Ireland, The City of Mist in Spain, First Blood in Belgium, Death at Intervals in Portugal, The Alaska Sanders Affair in Switzerland, and The Factory in Ukraine, and Poems New and Collected in Poland. So these are what's on offer. Yeah, I will link it in the show notes so you can go to the website that allows you to plan your route and sign up. So yeah, definitely go if you are a literary person, or you just like books, or maybe you want to get into reading, or maybe you want to meet some friends who are interested in that kind of things. So just go and make some friends and enjoy words. And yeah, hope to see you there. And when I was looking at the lineup of the European Literature Night, I discovered something by the speaker at La Biblioteca, which is Lily Chong, and she runs a literary magazine called Flow State, and they, with other organizations like Pure Street Poetry, they have like a Cantonese and English literary events every Friday night. I think this is something I'm definitely going to check out and enjoy, and I will link it in the show notes because I can't say more about it because I haven't been, right? And this also leads me to something else I have done, which is cafe and bookshop hopping in Shamshui-Po. So if you are interested in books and that kind of things, and cafe and coffee like me, I think this will be something right up your alley. And Shamshui-Po is probably the most deprived and neglected district in Hong Kong. So there are a lot of subdivided units, and people are living on allowance, governmental allowance and subsidies. So it's a place a lot of people have some stigma about, and I think it's quite famous for prostitution and gang stuff too, like triads, they are based there. So it's not the nicest district in Hong Kong. But there are a bunch of cafes and independent bookstore, probably because of the low rent, and there are also a bunch of thrift store. So I do go there quite a bit, and I totally enjoy it. Despite not having enough, the people there are not bitter. They are still nice human beings. They are just struggling. So it's not some crazy, super dangerous and violent area like, I don't know, Elephant and Castle in London. You do need to be careful to not get pickpocketed at certain areas, but there's nothing major to worry about some people. And the bookstore I loved are Book Punch and Hunter Bookstore. They are independent. They sell mainly Cantonese books, Chinese books, local books. They do have some English book collection, but I do read in Chinese too, so it doesn't really bother me that they don't have a big English collection. And if you want English book, I think order from Amazon, read an ebook, or maybe go to Eslit in Eslite. I don't know, Sengban, in Causeway. So that bookstore, they do have a lot of good English book at a okay price point. And yeah, some Shamshui-Po more local, more Cantonese. And if you want philosophical books like philosophy, maybe try Hong Kong Reader 做研書室 in Mongkok. So some Shamshui-Po in Mongkok, bunch of indie bookstore, highly recommend if you are into books. And they have very nice cafe as well. So that's something I do when I am free with my friends. So I do apologize if this episode feels very heavy on art and culture, because it's my focus, it's my passion. But don't worry, I have something that's not like that for you, and I'm gonna finish with another artsy thing. I am sorry, but yeah, so this thing is the Hong Kong subreddit meetup, which is on the 20th of September at DMC. I think it's a gaming place in Ngau Tau Kok. So after a couple of years of not doing any meetup, like an annual meetup, Hong Kong subreddit decided to do one this September, and if it goes well, they promise, I wouldn't say they promise, but they are thinking about doing a Christmas party to allow people to make friends. And I think it's something that I want to do too, because I have been having a little existential crisis and rethinking about my social life and my relationship with work, my time, how to spend my time and stuff. And I do realize I want to build a community, a friend circle in Hong Kong. So I'm taking this as a good opportunity to see if I can meet some like-minded people. And I am also trying to get into Dungeons and Dragons. So I think I might get someone who wants to play with me at this meetup, because hey, is Reddit and people are kind of nerdy, right? Okay, that's a prejudice. But yeah, I'm trying to get someone to hang out with me. And if you are in the same boat trying to make friends in Hong Kong, because I think in the subreddit, in the Hong Kong subreddit, people are constantly asking how to make friends in Hong Kong. And I really thank them for being so considerate and thoughtful and actually organizing something to solve this, like this thing that persists. And yeah, I think I'm gonna take the opportunity to make some friends. To finish off, I figured I would recommend the 36th Hong Kong Lesbian and Gay Film Festival. And apologies again, is something art and culture, because that is really what I'm interested about, and it's usually the things that came to my attention. But yeah, I just think it's such a nice thing to happen in Hong Kong to promote equality and inclusivity and to celebrate the LGBTQ community, which I think is still a bit marginalized and stigmatized in our culture. So I do think it's a good thing to give it more representation and a space to foster communication and connection. So the films are also very interesting. And the opening film is Simpa, which is set to investigate modern and traditional queer values when it collides with intergenerational family dynamics. I wouldn't say more to spoil it, and I also think it's a very complex film that doesn't do justice for it if I give a one-line synopsis. So I guess you just have to go and see for yourself. And a little or big rather plus for this is the opening screening. They have a post-screening Q&A sharing with the lead actor Odd Mason Hyde, and Odd Mason identify as non-binary, and I don't have much clue what pronoun Odd Mason use. So I'm just going to call Odd Mason. And Odd Mason is going to be there to discuss the film with you. It's such a nice experience for anyone who is interested in this LGBT topic and support the cause. And the nice thing about this festival is that it's showing the films that are Asian focused, because I do think a lot of the time popular culture or mainstream culture, when they portray an LGBTQ person, is usually not an Asian person, you know what I mean? Like, we are quite underrepresented in films and media that deals with this topic, and it's nice to see they have a collection of films that celebrate both LGBTQ and Asian culture, which is a very unique blend, and a blend that is, I think, it's hard to find in places other than Hong Kong and maybe some Asian metropolitan. So definitely something that I'm interested in checking out, but unfortunately I have to be totally honest, I don't think my schedule allows, because they usually show on like a weekday evening and I have a lot of work right now, so I don't think I can make it. But I figured it would be something nice to make you aware of in case you are interested in that kind of things. And I would hate that you miss it because you don't know. So yeah. So alright guys, this is the end of Things to Do in Hong Kong September edition. I am sorry if you are not into books and literature, because I did talk about them at length, but it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I want to help promote this reading and literature culture in Hong Kong by just talking about it. Because growing up, I've always been a big reader, and I know, because I'm part of it, so I know there's a big literature and culture community in Hong Kong, but it's so scattered. Like, we are like little dots, little islands instead of a continent, a community. But I think it's taking shape. Like, a lot of more people are doing things to glue these scattered people together and form a community to promote it to a wider audience and make it something more mainstream, not something just you find in the corners of the city, like very hidden and very niche, very, very independent. And it's such a nice thing to see. And with the member of the community that I have had the pleasure to encounter, they are usually very welcoming, very nice, and they don't gatekeep, they don't vet a newcomer, they don't judge you, they just welcome you with open arms. I wish more people read in Hong Kong. It's such a nice hobby. It helped me through a lot of difficult times, and it's my favorite hobby. I've been a reader since I was 5, and yeah, more about that later on, learning to read and write and language learning in general. Like, I want to do an episode on that because I'm very passionate about that. That was a digression. But thanks for tuning in to another episode of Canto Be Like. I wish you have a good week, and you might end up going to one of these events. And I wish you well and safe in wherever you are in the world. And take care. See you next time. Bye.